So today we're going to talk about how to replace the Lodash max and maxBy. Lodash max method, it parses an unsorted array and then return the max value. And if the array is empty, it returns this dubious undefined. Um, I'm going to show you how to do this in Vanilla JavaScript. Um, let's get started. So let's say you have an array containing an unsorted number elements. It's actually very simple to do this. You don't even need a library to do this at all. So let's say let's do a expression here. It's going to be really simple. We're going to do a ternary. There's multiple ways to do this, but I'm going to keep this simple. Okay, and you can create a function out of it, but I'm just going to return a simple ternary. If you don't understand the spread operator, please watch my JavaScript min-max algorithm video. I go into high detail on how this works. I don't like the undefined return value. I think it's not very helpful. So I'm just going to make up my own here. Okay, so let me explain what's going on here. So we have an unsorted array, okay? And I want to extrapolate the highest value in this unsorted array, okay? So I'm going to pass a ternary operator here. So I check the array.length, okay? So if the array has elements inside of it, we're going to call math.max on it and spread out the array to get the max number. Essentially, we're using apply on the back end. Again, watch my min-max algorithm video. And then, so that's the truthy scenario. So, okay, if it's falsy, then we're going to go ahead and console.log out empty array. Okay. In the real world, when you write a function to do this or a method, return a meaningful error message, not undefined, because undefined is what undefined is undefined, right? It's not very helpful at all. If you're you have a enterprise level sophisticated app and you're trying to find out what undefined is. Okay, so do yourself a favor when you code. Okay, so that's there it is. You're getting 8 back. Now for maxBy. Again, so maxBy, let's say you have a nested array, right? An array with object literal inside of it, and you're trying to get the max value, and it's unsorted. Again, this is very simple as well. It's not hard at all. You still don't need a library for this. So let's just go max value, and we're going to call reduce on this. Let me show you the Lodash max array documentation. So in Lodash, all it does is it parses an array of objects and then return the highest value. That's all it's doing. Okay. And the reduce, this is documentation for reduce from MDN. Reduce, with reduce, the here's the signature. Okay, it takes accumulator, a current value, an index, the array that you want to iterate over, and the initial value. The initial value can be the 0th index or data structure like array or object literal. And of course, this is in the predicate function, right? It's array reduce is a higher order function, so therefore it takes a predicate. Okay, so we're gonna loop through this array. For the accumulator, for the predicate function, I'm going to be very explicit in my naming convention. Reduce, you have to pass in at least at the minimum accumulator and current value. Okay, and I'm going to make the syntax very concise here, but and then I'll make it the more verbose version so you guys can understand. Again, I'm going to do a ternary operator here as well because it's more succinct. So if the accumulator dot value, and of course this value, we're referring to this value here. If you're writing a function or a method, you can abstract that out. It's greater than or equal to the current value, right? Right there, the second parameter in the signature dot value. And then we can return the accumulator. Otherwise, we're going to return the current value. Okay, and I mentioned earlier that you can have an initializer in here, and it can be the 0th index or whatever index you want to start from, or the data structure. In this case, I want an object. I can also sort this out. So there you have it, 500. Okay, that's this value here. The array obviously do not have to be sorted, right? So let me, in the interest of time, let me bring in code that I wrote off screen for like the longer verbose version of that ternary. So this code down here, maxBy u2, is exactly the same as up here. This guy here is more, more terse. All right. And this code up here is exactly pretty much the same as it is down here. Okay. Here, let me see here. Let me lock this out as well. Let me save this. There. See, exactly the same. The same result. Okay. There. So now you can replace max and maxBy with your own code. Good luck.